Alrighty, for this video, I'm going to be doing an over-the-shoulder look at a technical audit that I'm working on for a client this Saturday. I figured since I'm going to be working on this beautiful Saturday, I might as well create some content out of this since I haven't done a video in a while. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, and I'll get to them if you guys get into technical audits, and if there's anything that you want me to explain that I'm working through, just let me know and I will circle back on it. So it's kind of our current kind of technical working document. I'm trying to reformulate our task creation and how we go about just basically the ideation of creating tasks. Just we're always testing new things, and it's nice to see things in different formats every once in a while, but essentially what I'm doing is working a template of how we're titling the different tasks and files that we're sending to our clients for changes, what type of ticket it is, if we're going to be entering that into their Jira or project management tool like Asana, why we're making the suggested change, what the action needed is, the date we discuss this action item, and then the date we reported it into Jira. We also record the Jira ticket number for easy reference, status, and link to file, and also any kind of notes as well. So kind of been coming through here, just making sure that I have everything that I need. Sorry, one second here. Just making sure I have everything that I need while I'm doing this technical audit. But we just finished the thin pages task portion of this, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Basically, I ran a quick filter. I wanted to filter out anything with the URL within the URL medium, because medium comes from mostly UTM parameters, which are most associated with paid ad landing pages. So since we're focusing on this technical aspect and technical SEO of the site, we want to exclude anything with a paid UTM or anything that was meant to be a paid landing page. We don't want to consider that in our findings here. And even if I remove this, I'll show you there's one URL here at the top, and it actually is indexable, which, you know, that's something that you guys want to look out for. Make sure that any URL containing a UTM, like source, medium, campaign, content, you guys know how it goes, has a no index tag on it. Make sure you update that in your robots.txt, and just make sure that these pages aren't being indexed, because it's going to skew your data, it's going to skew your paid data, and it's not going to keep any of your tests clean. So you just want to make sure you exclude those. But I just finished up this. Let me actually pull this up for you guys. 1 second here. Let me transition out of here so I can pull up the right screen. Sorry, we got to go back and forth through this portal, guys. Just so I don't cloud the screen with how many tabs I have open. Yeah, essentially this table here is all in this spreadsheet. I'm pulling up here. Second, guys, I'm pulling this up right now. So this is a export directly out of DeepCrawl, our enterprise crawling software. Basically what I did was I filtered the URLs. You can see there's quite a few rows hidden here. These are just URLs that I don't care to audit or that aren't in a priority right now. And I just modified the sheet that I was given here, added in a notes column and action column, and that's about it. So all I did was just go through here, because all of these pages were flagged for thin content. I want to look into these a little bit further and figure out why that's occurring. So long story short, I filtered them by which pages need to add content to. If they're an existing PLP page, we need to add content to those. It's relatively easy. We had a couple short blog posts, which Google really doesn't like short blog posts, especially under 300 words or so, which I think is what our parameter at for thin content is. So we wanted to add content. So I'm suggesting to add content to these, and then also an outlet page, which is just like a sales page. And then most of these right here, everything in .html, which is very common with Oracle and Commerce Cloud, you'll find .html at the end of URLs which pertain to products. Instead of adding, supporting content just to make ends meet for getting us out of a thin content flag, we're considering lengthening the product description. So I have all of that here. We're going to discuss that when we get the okay. We'll go in and write up lengthier product descriptions, which are going to include different unique value props, things that would assist with conversion, but also get us out of this thin content issue we're facing on the site. And then down here, we have a couple paid ads landing pages, and the rest of these were, I think, PLP pages that didn't have any products on them. So we're suggesting to no index those. So that's kind of how that's going to go. So we're all done with that. Let's go back into our crawl, our latest crawl here, which was May 2nd. Alrighty, so once we're here, I'm going to go back to all issues, and we just finished this thin pages one. So now I'm going to go to pages with duplicate body, and we're going to go in and see why we're having these pages flagged with duplicate body tags. So I'm going to generate a CSV file. Once that's done, it'll just populate right here, and I can download it. Normally doesn't take this long. Just give it a few more seconds here. All right, so once that's ready, I'm just going to open it up, launch that file, and see, we can get rid of this. We're no longer talking about this page. So these are all the pages with duplicate body, and let's see. We have the URLs of the duplicate body, and see here, duplicate body primary URL. So it looks like, okay, so the found at is where the URL is found. That doesn't matter so much. We're just comparing column G with column H for this task. Basically, we want to figure out why all of these are considered duplicate. Let's see here. Don't really need this. Okay. So we're going to do a notes and action. All right, we're going to want to figure out what the action is, what the notes are for the page, and actually put these backwards. So you can kind of see I just quickly format the page, make it legible and neat. So the first thing that we're going to do is, this one's pretty easy, right? Most of these I can just look at and understand what's going on, but I'll walk you guys through it. So this is telling us that there's duplicate body content found primarily on these URLs, but it's being duplicated across these URLs. So there's an issue here. So I can already tell, like, the blog is fine. This UTM right here, this should be no index, and that's why the duplicate content is existing here. So I'm gonna write no index UTM URL parameters wrap text. So duplicate content is being created from UTM text parameters not being no indexed. I'm just gonna say no index. I'm gonna be very specific here. So no index G2. All right, so this one's gonna be interesting because we have a men's TrueFlex and a women's TrueFlex pages here. So let's pull those up. I'm trying to pull these up side by side and see what the duplicate content looks like. So this is interesting. Give me 1 second here, guys. So this is telling us that there's duplicate content across this page and this page, but we can clearly see that there are 0 results for either. So what we're going to say here is just 0 results on these pages. Consider removing or no indexing. No index. G2, no G3, and then H3. This next one, it's probably going to be the same issue. I have a feeling it's going to be the same issue. Yep. So that was the same issue. So that one was pretty easy. I'm gonna say no index G4 H4. This next one is a PDP, so this will be interesting to see why these two are coming up as duplicate. Okay, so this one's a unique issue. I'm seeing that these are 2 different URLs, right? They're unique URLs. You can tell by the product name. Product name is the same, but the numerals here change, right? You see this one's 132, this one's 163. So Google counts these as 2 unique URLs, but the contents of these pages are going to be the same. The reason why they're showing up as duplicate, I bet, is a canonical URL issue. So we're going to check and see what the canonical URL is, which we could easily pull down with this Ahrefs tool. So over here on the right, we have our page here. So it looks like the problem here is there's a self-canonical. So this PDP is the same product, same content for every color variation. The only difference of these pages is just the URL, which is not good. So they're both self-canonical. I'm going to verify that. So actually what needs to happen here is we need to choose a, I'm not really sure what to call it, like a primary product. These products self-canonical when they're color variations of the same product. We need to define a lead product and canonical the rest of the colors to the lead product URL. So that one's a bit interesting. I mean, we run into a lot of canonical issues with ECOM sites, so it's not really anything unusual. So I'm going to put discuss there because that's something we need to discuss with our client. We need to make sure that they're okay with us suggesting the leading product there. So let's go on to the next one here. This also looks like a product. It looks like, yeah. So same thing here, guys. You can see here the product, the URL here, and the URL here are identical. It's just the product name is the only difference here. I'm almost certain that it's the same issue that we just experienced. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so this is actually a unique circumstance. So for this issue, we're seeing that both products are in apricot pink. All the content on the page is identical. if we look at the on page, canonical is a self-canonical as well. Another thing that we should look at is the character, the title for the characters is a bit long, or the character, sorry guys, the characters for the title is a bit long, and that's something that we're going to want to address. It also looks like the images are pulling from their demandware site, which is a non-public speaking domain, so we want to change that. There's a couple things here that we want to address, right? So same thing. So this is kind of a unique issue. These products are identical but self-canonical, and we need to define why the duplicate, whichever that is, was created. Then once that is completed, we need to prune. I always say prune instead of I'll just say remove. We need to remove one or no index if we cannot remove the page. So that's another topic for discussion. And what I'm also kind of mentally taking note here is, and I should be actually opening this in a notepad because it's just important to take notes while you're auditing. So I'm just going to pull this up. Finding canonical issues with duplicate products. Finding canonical issues with color variants on products, and finding no index issues with UTM parameters. So those are the three biggest issues that I've found so far in the past 15 minutes, right? You can see how quickly these add up. But one thing to always keep in mind when you're auditing or when you're running a technical audit, just be aware that many of these issues are probably not going to be isolated events, especially if you're running an e-commerce site. Things are typically created dynamically. There's a function for each action that you take in the back end of your site, whether your website's hosted on Oracle or Commerce Cloud or even Shopify or whatever platform or tech stack you're using. There's usually a dynamic action or dynamic result to every action you take in the back end. So we can technically, let's say we did remove this URL, we technically fixed this issue, right? This singular issue, but the core root of the problem, which is why these two URLs were created in the first place, is still going to exist. So I hope that makes sense. You gotta take note of that once you finish your audit and look for the roots of the problems. You may need to discuss that with development or your client or someone who's very familiar with the back-end technology of the site you're working on. And as you get more cases in technical SEO, you kind of start to catch on different trends in these platforms. So this is the same issue, two different URLs, two different product names, and you can see here that the URL rating is split, right? So there's many reasons why this isn't good. You're diverting the power of your site. You are you're causing duplicate content issues. Google's not sure which one to serve to searchers when they're looking for the product name. You have duplicate title issues, duplicate meta description. It's just causing a lot of issues. So this is the same issue as our color variant, which is this guy. We're just going to do that, copy and paste real quick. And I'm already noticing a trend here. So you can see here that this ML addition to the product name and this long variant numerical code here for the product name is probably going to be associated with this issue every single time. And we're going to do a few of those just to kind of rule that out, but you start to see these correlations. So, definitely make note of that. So this is a correlation. Actually, let's do this. Sorry, I just whipped up this notepad. I don't really have a template for taking. Well, I do have a template for taking notes, but I don't want to dig it out right now. So we're finding correlation here between product names, including ML, and long version numerical names, which cause completely identical URLs that are indexable. Cool. So this is a very important thing to find and to bring up to development, right? Because developers are brilliant and great at their jobs, but you have to point them in the right direction so they know where to look, because sometimes anything that saves them time we're down to do, because their job is already very difficult as is. So yeah, let's go ahead and check this one out. I think, did I have these up already? No. So let's see if we were right here. Pull this up, self-canonical. Yeah, same product, same page. And you can see this one's ranking for 0 keywords, this one's ranking for 2. This one also has 2 backlinks, so we want to get rid of the page that's causing the duplicate issues. So this is this issue, right? That's done. Same thing, right? So same URL, ML versus that. So now we're able to move much more quickly, right, than auditing every page. Now we've found a correlation. This one looks unique. We actually have a written product name versus a product numeral. This is why you want to dig deep into technical, because although Deep Crawl does a great job at pointing out what looks off if you have the right parameters set up prior to your call. This title actually said pages with duplicate body, right? And what we're finding are not duplicate body issues at all. We're finding canonical issues and no index issues. So although this tool does a great job with data visualization and provide you a nice little summary with great graphs and things that you can show your clients visually, it's very important to dig deep and really know your stuff and look into these issues and solve them so they're not reoccurring. So these are, let's see, these are color variants. And it looks like this one has size and width differences. So this is a unique callout that we'll want to talk about. So we're also finding the above correlation between product names like Bungee and so the width and the size are not identical. How does the logic work here? So one thing that we're going to want to find out in this case is, because we have 2 URLs that are identical, right? Well, URLs are unique, but the product is identical. It's just a different color variant. Even the reviews are congregated across both. But what we're seeing here is So it says it's not available in this combination. It doesn't say that it's sold out. So I don't know if this color combination just doesn't offer this size and width. So that's something that we're going to want to talk to development about and find out what the logic is as to why these sizes would show and why they wouldn't, right? Because we wouldn't want to necessarily get rid of one of these pages. We would just need to canonical to one of the other, and not self-canonical, because I bet these are both self-canonical. Let's see. And canonical URL is just, for those of you who don't know, it's just a way to tell Google which you preference for the product, or for the for the product. If you have women's Let's Walk bungee sneaker and you have 10 different variations of that, you don't want 10 of the same identical pages to present themselves as unique pages, because they're not. They're all identical. So a canonical URL lets you take all 10 of those pages and canonical them just to one. So if these, let's say this was 10 here, all 10 of these boxes, canonical just to 11. So we tell Google these are all the same product, all the same contents, might be color differences, but they all go back to this product. So we want you to focus on showing this product to our customers. And that's just a nice, polite way of using the index properly, right? Because there's so many pages out there. So yeah, with that, this is going to be the same issue as this one. Because the color is different between these two, whereas these other ones, there was no color variant. They were completely identical pages. The only difference here was that the color variant of the shoe, so that classifies as this. So that's not a correlation. So we know that ML, and we know URLs found with ML and URLs and duplicate URLs found with complete numerical product names meet the requirements of this change suggestion, whereas now we know that this ML is a unique scenario, and LWW, whatever parameter this follows or whatever logic this follows in the back end, does not correlate the same as this task. So we can't rule that out for all URL types. The only thing that we've found so far that's correlating, that is consistent each time, is ML with numerical tags equals this change. So once we start to figure out enough of these correlations, then we can start to apply dynamic change suggestions into development. And instead of correcting this change across hundreds of pages, which would take hours, tens of hours, hundreds of hours, depending upon how much work is involved with the developer speed, things like that, we can then present a dynamic change to the client, get that patched, and fix hundreds of pages at once, which is a time savings for everyone, right? We don't want to be wasting our time and resources, working at an individual page level, when we can dynamically change and fix things for clients, or make suggestions for them to dynamically change and fix things. So that's kind of the logic behind that. And we're approaching about 30 minutes here, and I'm just to be honest with you guys, my voice is getting a little bit tired. I'm not used to doing this kind of thing, so thanks for bearing with me. If you guys like content like this, let me know. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel, or give me a thumbs up or a comment. Really, any feedback is very welcomed and appreciated. We're always trying to grow over here and improve and get better. So anything you guys got, I am open to feedback. And that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Talk soon.